Warning: this story you are about to hear may be triggering. Viewer discretion is advised. Well, looks like the secret is finally out. Andrew Moreno, also known as Mono on native TikTok, is being outed as the groomer that he is. Many of the people that have now fallen out with him are feigning ignorance as to what his true nature is, but he was called out many times. I'll even give BGP her credit because she was actually the first one to call him out for his predatory behavior. I also called him out multiple times for his behavior and many coddled him. So, a little backstory before I let this video play. Mono started grooming this girl when she was 16. He attempted to meet up with her and do things that 40-year-old men shouldn't be attempting to do with adolescents.
Or something, and he'd get mad because he didn't know where I was at, or I didn't tell him where I was going, and he would get like really angry, like, oh, you're acting like you're single and everything like that. You're acting like you're single. You need to tell me where you're going and who you're with, and you need to even ask if you can go out. You should ask me if it's okay. And that's the stuff that he would say. And
at any time, did you feel like pressure to keep a secret or stay silent about certain things?
yeah, I did the whole entire time, that whole 3 years that I knew him. Like I said, just to clarify, everyone else in the group didn't even have an idea of how old I was. Everyone thought that I was the age that I said I was. Everyone thought that. Because I guess it's just because I never gave off that vibe that I was younger. I don't know. But yes, I felt pressured because it was more like, especially when the group happened, it's like, damn, you're just going to leave me here with this secret that I have to deal with. And it's crazy because that night of that live, it was weighing on my heart heavy. I'm like, I can't keep lying like this because it's dishonest and it's not right and everything. And I was just more so scared because, like, he would say things like, well, if you do come out about your age, the group, they're not going to want to mess with you no more. They might not talk to you no more. And that was scary because I built a bond with you guys and I genuinely do care for you guys. So that was my biggest fear. Like, oh, if I do come out and say something about it, they're going to do what, he says they're going to do. Like, they're going to stop talking to me and stuff, So I was like, I kept it a secret, but at the same time, I wanted to say something. And just like the whole, oh, well,
Did he threaten you at all? Did he say like, oh, don't tell him or else this is gonna happen or that's gonna happen? Did that ever happen?
no, he never like said anything like that. The most he ever said that was like, I wouldn't even say it's not even a threat, but it's more like, I would say another manipulation thing is when he was like, oh, well, you're 18 now, so why does it matter if you say something? It's not going to matter. They're not going to care. I mean, why does it matter? Why are you bringing that up? Because you're 18 now. And that's what he would say.
And just to clarify, you turned 18 in November, correct?
Yes, I turned 18 in November. I just turned 18. My birthday was last month.
So just so the viewers know, you were 16 when you met him, right?
Yes.
And then you turned 17 roughly around the time when you came into the group, right?
Yeah.
And what age did you tell everybody you were when you came into the group? Because I'm not gonna lie, I've never asked. I don't get involved in people's relationships. I jump in and out of lives, and I have very minimal conversations with people. Sometimes other people have stronger bonds and relationships. I might talk to this person a little more than I talk to the whole entire group, and that's the way things are specifically, right? But
Yeah.
I remember just because I was confused. I was like, I do remember her saying she was either 19 or 20, and I couldn't remember which one. So the whole time I'm thinking you were an adult, over the age of 18.
Yeah, and I probably did say that because, like, but sometimes before we would go on calls or before we would go live, he would call or I would call or whatever, and he'll tell me what to say, like, tell them your birthday's in this month. Or he would just tell me he would tell me to say certain things or whatever, like about my age or about the situation, about me being of age. And he would like tell me what to say. And he'd be like, okay, so when we're going live, you say this. And yeah, at first I'd say like that first 6 months, nothing sexual was brought. Oh crap, nothing sexual was brought up.
Right.
I would say until, like, I say maybe like a year, that's when I was 17. He was talking about like wanting to have kids and stuff like that. Like saying, "Oh yeah, and if we have kids, our kids can get enrolled into this tribe." And like I'll just be like, "Oh, okay," but like it's like I'm not thinking about kids at this age. Like I'm not thinking about kids like at this age at all. So sometimes that would be awkward because like I'll be like, "Oh, okay, that's pretty cool," but like in my head I'll just be like, "Is this gonna work out?" Because you want kids, but I don't want kids. Like I'm 17. That's not even on my mind right now. At the time
Wow.
I was 17 during that time when those conversations were had. And when that stuff
So he
popped out
was he was
again,
basically telling you to keep secrets then, right? He was like he
yeah,
was he
he
was he
was.
was he was prepping you before you would go in anybody's live or in any other chats, is what you're saying?
Yeah, yeah, he
Wow.
was. Yeah. And when Great Wolf, oh yeah, to answer your question about that, when Great Wolf was in my DMs, I was like 17 at the time. I was. But he told me, he was like, just tell him that you were scared of him. And when that shit first popped up, I was like, see, I can't do this. I was like, that's wrong. Like, I can't lie. And he was like, just tell them that, you're this age and you said that me and you are together because you were scared of him and stuff. And that's what he told me to say.
Wow. This is unacceptable. It's very unacceptable. Again,
And, oh, sorry.
nah, it's okay. I just want to say this, like, I'm sorry this all happened to you. Unfortunately, we have individuals on the internet who do shit like this, right? And, there was a lot of people who came forward beforehand. And, unfortunately, like, we didn't necessarily believe all of the rumors and stuff like that because Mono is good at one thing. He'll make you believe something because he'll reiterate it over and over and over. And then what he does is he makes you feel sorry for him. He makes you feel sorry for him. Like he's a victim, And it's just unfortunate because he's not that way and he's not the victim of anything. He's an aggressor. He's been the aggressor the whole entire time. My bad, Miss T.
No, you're good. I was just saying, like, another reason why I guess he didn't believe that I was 16 and he probably thought I was younger is because he made a comment one day. He was like, "You're tiny for your age." He was like, "You're small for your age." And I guess that's why he didn't believe that I was 16. I'm guessing he thought that I was younger than 16. And I was like, "No, I'm 16," because he kept asking me. And I was like, "Well, maybe it's because I have on makeup and a profile picture that I had on my TikTok account at that time."
Yeah.
But yeah, he was like, "Are you sure you're 16?" I was like, "Yes." Like, what do I have to lie for? Yes, I am 16. And that's when he was like, "Oh, well," he was like, "You're pretty small for your age." And I was like, at that time, I didn't think anything was weird with that.
Yeah.
And yeah, he would just do stuff like that, and that's really all that happened. There's more stuff, but like, since like, hell, this was like for like 3 years, I'll probably remember some stuff like just a little bit later on, but
We'll talk about that,
yeah.
and I just wanted to reiterate and ask this question right quick, like what made you, besides me asking you like, yo, like, can you please be honest with me and tell you what your age is? Besides that, like, what made you come forward? Like, what made you say, you know what, like, I'm tired of this shit. You know what I mean? Like,
Cause I
or
was
whatever.
tired of living a lie. Like, it would be certain stuff. I would see relatable videos about people talking about, you know, being a teenager, and it's like fuck, I really wanted to repost it, but I couldn't because anytime I would want to repost something on TikTok or especially on Snapchat, he would tell me, "Why would you post this? Why would you post this? The group is gonna see this. Did you block them from your story? Make sure you block them and make sure that they can't see it before you post this." Like, it was so much stuff I wanted to post, and I was just tired of having to like fabricate this lie to y'all and like be like, "Oh yeah, I did this today," knowing damn well I was really somewhere else. Like, I got tired of that, and I felt so guilty because y'all are nothing but genuine and sweet people. Y'all have always been welcoming to me, so that's what made me come forward. Especially, it's like when you asked me that right there is what gave me the push to just Like, just do it. Like, when you asked me, that right there just gave me the push to just do it. Because I was like, I can't continue to sit up here and lie about something like this. I can't continue to just lie about this. Like I'm tired of living a lie. I'm tired of having to be careful and tread lightly about what I post, because if not, he's gonna fucking get mad at me and everything like that. So I got tired. I got tired of that. It got really tiring. And like I said, it just hurts my feelings in a way, because I should have been said something, but like I said, it's just that fact that what he told me is like, oh yeah, well, if you say something, the group, they're not going to talk to you anymore. And that's when I was like, well, it was like I was conflicted, basically. I wanted to say something, but I was also scared of the outcome of the situation.
So you were genuine. You were afraid. Like you being scared, right? Like you physically felt fear to tell the truth, because you felt like if you told the truth, then something was gonna happen to you. Basically, is what you're telling us.
Yeah. And that's why, like, I would have to be careful with certain stuff that I said, like, in conversations and on live and everything like that. I would have to be, like, really careful on what I would say. And yeah, like, anytime I almost slipped up or said anything, my heart would start beating and stuff. Like, like I said, like, those breaks I would take away from conversations. Like, don't get me wrong, I genuinely was taking care of my family. But a lot of those breaks that I had, I contemplated about unaliving myself or checking myself into, a mental hospital or something, because for one, it wasn't just that situation. It was other stuff I was going through on top of that too. But it's like that situation, it's like it just made it worse. Like, I don't know how to explain it.
It's messed up. It really is, and I'm sorry that you had to experience that shit. You should have been focusing in school. You should have been focusing
Yeah.
on what academic path you were taking. And being distracted by an older man, and being distracted by all this TikTok drama and beef. It's unfortunate, and it's making me rethink a lot of this social media bullshit and being on TikTok. Honestly, to tell you the truth, a lot of this unwanted fucking bullshit that we deal with on fucking TikTok is. I mean, like when you're in native TikTok, it's the most fucked up place to be in.
It
Honestly,
is.
there's so much hate here. It's hard to even you know, to be here sometimes. You know what I mean? Everybody's at you, everybody's fighting, everybody's arguing, everybody's on bullshit with each other.
Who the
And
fuck is tapping at my
unfortunately
window?
we buy into the drama and beef, and we're a part of these things, and it's
Okay.
crazy, bro. It's
My bad. I
crazy.
thought I was on mute. Sorry, Chewy, if I cut you off. I thought I was on
No,
mute.
you're fine. You're
There's
fine.
some tapping at my window. They need to. I swear they're always loud. But
No worries. I
um,
put up this background to give a time frame, right? Because I do think it's very, very important. And these were sent to me by you, right? Because you wanted you wanted me to see, like, I'm in school, man. Like I'm telling the truth. Um, and can you give us a little background about some of the things that we're seeing on this background, real quick? You're on mute.
okay. You said give you some info about the background.
Yeah, just like little vague information, like it
Oh, okay.
like.
Um, yeah, of course. So the first picture where it says senior year, that picture was taken this year, literally just this year. The picture at the bottom or whatever,
So
that
this
was
year, 2025, you took this picture.
yes,
I want that to be clear, because when we were in Woken's live, I remember you saying you were 19 years old.
yeah.
You had told Woken, man, I'm 19 years old, and I remember Mono getting mad as hell. He's like, why are you guys even over there? You shouldn't be over there.
Oh
Da,
no,
da,
I
da.
told him I was 18. No, I said I was 18. I remember I said I was 18 and he was like, "Wait, you're still 18 and it's been this long still?" And
Yep.
that's
He
when
caught you
Woken was
up.
like, "Something ain't right." And
Yep.
that's why he was so angry at me that day. And that's why he was like, "We're gonna have to break up." He started panicking and shit. And I was like, "What the fuck are you panicking for?" And that's when he called me and he told me, he was like, tell them that your 19th birthday is coming up. And he was like, give them a fake birthday. He was like, just tell them that your birthday's like October 25th.
Wow. So there was lie after lie after lie and cover up after cover up after cover up, and he was behind all of that shit.
Yeah. But
Wow.
yeah, those pictures, that first picture right there, that is from this year. That was how it's December now, so I say November, October, September. That picture was taken 3 months ago, like 3, 4 months ago,
Yeah. So
because
you
that
were
was taken
you
this
were
year.
17 at the time
Yeah, I was 17 when this actually yeah, I was 17 when this picture
because
was
your
taken.
birthday is in November.
Yeah, my birthday's in November.
Yeah. So can you talk a little bit about your junior year? How old were you when you were a junior?
How old was I when I was a junior? Last
Yeah.
year I was 17 when I was a junior because my birthday is late.
Yeah.
Do you want me to say the year I was born to
No,
just
no,
so
no,
they can
no, no,
have
no, 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 no.
okay.
Don't
Okay.
because there's a there's things that are gonna happen after this live that we'll talk about right now. And you know what? Let me just share. And this is the reason why there's a criminal investigation happening right now as we speak, and I'll give you guys the proof. This is the proof right here. This is a criminal investigation that's going to happen after this. Well, it happened already, but it's an ongoing investigation, and I don't want you to, ruin the investigation. You know what I'm saying? And have you focus on the general parts about everything. This way, people on TikTok, right, can know exactly who they're dealing with when they're dealing with Andrew. You know, we need to put the fucking word out there about this individual so nobody panels him up. Nobody. He needs to be ousted from every community on TikTok. You know, everybody needs to be aware of this individual. And this is the reason why we're speaking up about this shit. This is not okay. This is not right. You know, um, you know, you spoke to the authorities, correct?
Yes, I have spoke to the authorities. It is currently getting handled and stuff. So yeah, it's currently getting handled. It's in the works slowly but surely, but it will be handled.
Can
So yeah.
I want to read it real quick. It says the card they gave me, which is obviously above that, and they said that when it is time, they can send it to the California Police Department and let them know about it. The police just left. They had told me they were going to send a link, and once I have any type of screenshots or anything to send it there, I showed them screenshots of his profile and told them everything. And I gave them his supposed name, Andrew Moreno. They said that there is no time limit on anything, and they gave me a case number. Is that factual? Is that true?
Yes, that is 100% true. Obviously, there is information that's blocked out just for the safety of my information and the police's information. But yes, it is currently getting handled. And yeah, that is very much true. It literally says my name, Miss Tiana. That is me right there. And
Yeah.
those are my messages.
And the reason why we block some of this stuff out is because there's a lot of weirdos on TikTok. We don't want a person who's complaining to the authorities to be intimidated by anybody on TikTok. You were being intimidated by Woken, right? Woken called you at 3 o'clock in the morning to intimidate
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, and that's when I was 17. That's when I was 17 at that time. When he had called or whatever.
Yeah.
Which
So
that's
this
when
is the
y'all thought I
reason
was
why we don't want to
18.
ruin this criminal investigation. We don't. You know what I mean? Because this whole fucking PDF file shit doesn't fly with me. You know what I mean? Like, this is against every moral standing that I go by. You know what I mean? And it's very unfortunate that we have to do this, but everything that we're talking about today, man, is the reason why we're coming forward with everything. You know what I mean? Like, this is some serious shit. This is nothing to be played with. This is real. Go ahead, sister.
No, you're good. And yeah, I mean, I really don't know what else to say. There is definitely more stuff, but I think if I can't remember, it's just a sign that it doesn't need to be said right now. Um, you know, like I said, I just really, and I know you said I have nothing to be sorry for, but like I said, just for lying about it. I hate lying, and like and that's what he would tell me on the phone. He'll be like, I'll understand. He was like, I understand where you're coming from. And I would tell him, no, you don't. You're not lying about your age to all of these people. You're not, you don't have to worry about that. You don't have to worry about your secret getting revealed. I was like, I do. And I said, I've built a bond with these people that I really care about. And I was like, if I find out, like, if they find out that I'm lying, obviously it's going to hurt them. They're going to feel betrayed or they might feel some type of way. I was like, and I don't want that to happen because I look at them as family, like as an actual family, so it was hard, and then just the same old bullshit, like constantly hanging up in my face when he would get mad and saying that I'm thinking stupid or I'm doing things that are stupid because I wanted to speak up about it. Hell, it even got to the point where I couldn't even keep it a secret no more. I was like, listen, I will tell them my real age and I will tell them that you didn't even know about it. And he's like, no, no. He's like, bro, you're being stupid. You don't have to do all of that. They think you're 18, so just let them think that and everything like that. Anytime we would go on lives or phone calls before we would go, he would tell me like what to say. Like, especially if my age, if that situation got brought back up, he'll be like, say this, say that. He'll be like, just tell them this. And he'll be like, say it this type of way.
Yeah. Very unfortunate. And I just want to reiterate this as well. Like, when we had our call and, the sisters came in and, we had a conversation. How did that make you feel? When you revealed your age and you talked about everything that happened, and when the sisters heard you, how did you feel about that situation?
It was very nerve wracking. Like I said, when you asked me what you asked me that day in that chat, that's what really gave me the motivation. It gave me the push. Like, fuck it, you might as well say something. Like, you might as well. Because in my heart, I couldn't do that. And for one, I just really want to thank you and the sisters for noticing that something was wrong. Because like when he left the group, it was honestly like it was fresh air. It was like a weight that was lifted off my shoulders. It's like everybody's done with him. Nobody has no ties to him. So I looked at it like this is my opportunity to just get it off my chest and just tell y'all my real age without me feeling bad because he's still cool with y'all. He's still lingering around, Um, fuck, what was I gonna say? Um, it made me, like I said, it was nerve wracking because I'm like, I didn't know how y'all reactions were gonna be, especially the sisters. I didn't know how their reactions were gonna be. I didn't know if they were gonna be angry at me or if they were gonna be hurt. And
Yeah.
I didn't want to make anybody angry or hurt anybody's feelings. So it was very nerve wracking. It took me a minute to even say what I could say. But everybody was very supportive and like very understanding and everything. So it felt good to get it off my chest. Like it felt good knowing that I don't have to be careful on what I repost on TikTok or what I post on Snapchat. I don't have nobody constantly in my ear telling me what I need to post and telling me to block these people from my story.
I don't mean this with any disrespect at all. Like, you're still a kid and you should be able to, you know, do what kids do, have fun, go to school, eat a meal here and there and exercise and do sports and all that stuff. And unfortunately, you got robbed of that for a little short minute, maybe a little longer than we actually fucking, realize, and it's unfortunate that you had to go through that, and, I, again, man, like, if you feel, like you need support, or if you feel like you need to talk to anybody, like the sisters are always there. There's other people that we can put you in communication with, right? Like, you know, at my job, we have a whole behavioral health team that, you can talk to as well, and like these people are all just, really good people who do the work, who actually do the work, who are very genuine in the work that they do. Or if you need to talk to somebody like with your family, I would say like do that, like reach out to somebody. But because this is heavy, this is really heavy, and, your brain is still developing, and, unfortunately, when you're online and when you're dealing with people, like you just tend to trust people, and don't do that. I've learned my lesson from this day forward, and just from seeing all the bullshit on native TikTok. Like, man, listen, like I ain't got a problem with nobody. Like after today, honestly, like I ain't got beef with none of y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all could say and do whatever the fuck you want to do. I'm done with this shit. Like on some real shit. Like I'm done. Like y'all can beef. You know, y'all can have issues. Y'all can go on each other's panels and yell and scream at each other. I ain't gonna be part of none of that shit. Yeah, you could miss me with that crap. Real talk, you know, and don't engage anybody, Miss Tiana. Don't listen to anybody who has something to say after this, and if you feel any negative energy from anybody, or if you feel like somebody makes a post about you, don't pay no fucking mind to them because they're just petty. They're just petty. And if he reaches out to you, I would suggest putting an order of protection on him. That's what I would suggest, right? If after this live he reaches out to you, or you feel like it's him through a third party or whatever the case may be, put a fucking order of protection on him and record every conversation, record every time, he wants to talk to you or whatever the case may be. Like my advice to you would do this, like don't even engage in conversation with him. You know what I'm saying? There's an
Yeah.
active investigation. Let them do what they're going to do, and really just focus on you. If he fucking comes after you, put a fucking order of protection on him for real. Cause it's not okay.
Yeah, it's not. And um, like I said, the rest of my family, when it is in due time, they will know. I am 18 now. I am a legal adult. I can handle this on my own, but until then, my family does not need to know about anything that's going on. They definitely will know
Is
once the
is
situation is over with.
you know just for safety reasons, eventually tell your dad, tell your mom, tell your grandparents. Like you need to tell them just so that they're aware of the situation, because you told us that he knows where you live, right?
Yeah,
So just think about that. Take a minute to think about, this person actually knows where I live, and I'm putting a case on him. He can flip out and do anything at this point. This is a safety reason. It's a safety concern. Like it really is. Like you need to say something. And you're obviously 18. Nobody can tell you to do this, or nobody can tell you to do that. You'll do it. But I'm suggesting for you to actually open up to them and trust them. And they're probably going to give you backlash. They're probably going to yell at you. But hey, man, if you can protect them and you can protect yourself, do that, man.
yeah, you're definitely right. And yeah, you're definitely right about that. You're right. You're right about everything. Y'all are right about everything. And yeah, I told the cops too, like about that. But yeah, they said everything is getting handled, and yeah, I definitely will tell my dad and like my grandma and everything like that. I definitely will. I mean, that's really much it. Like I said, anything else might come to mind later, but that's really much it. Like I said, long story short, I just started noticing this pattern. Especially I just started noticing how disrespectful he was to women. Like constantly, like being so easy to kick people out the group and then disrespecting women. Like he even called his own mother a bitch. He even called his own mom out of her name before. Like, this shit is crazy. And I don't know. I really don't have anything
Can you
else.
can you talk about that? Like, what do you mean by that? Like,
Oh, oh yeah. It was one time where I guess he had to watch his dad or whatever, and he ended up falling asleep. And I guess from what he told me, his mom and his older brother got mad at him and they locked him out the house. And we were on the phone, and I was like, well, just call the cops if she's not letting you get like your stuff, because they could safely escort you in and out to get your stuff. He's like, she's being a bitch, bro. She's a fucking bitch. She's being a bitch. And I was like, what the hell? Like, and I should have known right then and there, like, if a dude doesn't respect his mom, he's not gonna respect you.
yeah, that's messed up, man. That's really messed up. That's really messed up. We're gonna wrap it up shortly, and then we'll let folks come up. Just keep in mind, Those people who are coming up, man. She just shared her story. This is traumatic. This is a trauma experience that she's gonna have to deal with for a very long time, right? I'm glad that nothing happened to her, right? I'm glad that because you did share that he wanted to meet up with you, right?
Yeah, over the summer before I turned 18, it was my summer before my going into my senior year or junior year, I think. I can't remember if it was the summer before going to my junior year or senior year, but he was asked talking about meeting up because he said he has a sister that lives close by me, and he was like talking about wanting to meet up and stuff. And I remember I was like, my grandma's not gonna like let me do that. And he was like, it's okay, just tell her that you're hanging out with a friend and that you're at a friend's house. And I was like, no, I can't, because like I had sports and stuff. Summer track season, like summer track was coming up, and then volleyball and stuff was coming up. So like I was like, I can't do that. And he kind of got upset about it a little
This is
bit.
like this is like some Lovely Bones type shit. Like literally a fucking movie, yo. You know, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I just
No,
keep
you're
thinking
okay.
about like how dangerous this whole entire situation was for you. You know, like I have a daughter, right? And man, it just makes me think like I got a lot of work to do to educate her on the risk of her coming on social media and dealing with fucking people like fucking Andrew Moreno. Fuck. Man, boy.
But yeah, I mean, if anybody wants to know more about it, that's fine with me. Just I don't need anything like you said, just too outrageous, anything too crazy. But I mean,